So, good morning, students. So, today our topic of discussion will be the primary healthcare approach in any health system. So, can anyone say who is the person whom I have shared in the screen? So, he is Dr. William Joseph Bohr. Okay. So, he was the person who first formulated the primary healthcare approach by the Health Survey and Development Committee. So he put forward the most important the health planning and health committee in our country, and also he stressed upon the importance of primary healthcare approach. So for this primary healthcare approach, we must focus on the health promotion, which is given by the Ottawa Charter, that is the Health Promotion Charter, which was conducted in the Jakarta Declaration or the Ottawa Place. Okay, so it has five guiding principles like the strengthening the community action, developing personal skills, creating a supportive environment for all the individuals, and also finally the building a healthy public policy. So these are the five strategies by which we can assess the primary healthcare by means of health promotion strategy. Next is the three important principles, that is the enabling, mediating, and advocating the health advocacy and communication and social mobilization. So these are the three principles by which we can achieve the health promotion in any country. Okay. So with this in background, we must also know what is community health and why is it important. So for any community to be healthy, we must focus on the essential healthcare services which is provided by the primary healthcare approach. And this is important because in order to know about the community diagnosis or to know what are all the health conditions prevailing there in any community, what is the health seeking behavior of individuals, what are all the vital statistics and the mortality and morbidity statistics of that community. Okay, so that is why community health is very important. So the healthcare of the community which is given by the primary healthcare approach. Okay. So the specific learning objectives for this class will be the definition of health, enumerating the dimensions of health, defining the primary healthcare and enumerating its elements, the definition of community diagnosis and the steps followed in the community diagnosis. So some important university questions in this topic will be the definition of primary healthcare and to list down its elements, describing the levels of healthcare and how this healthcare is delivered in India, that is the healthcare delivery system in India, enumerating the different committees for community health, and finally the community diagnosis and steps involved in it. Okay, moving on to the topic proper. The outline of my presentation will include the definition of health and its dimensions, what is primary healthcare, what are the elements of primary healthcare, and the levels of healthcare by which we deliver the health, and the constitutions of committees by which the healthcare is delivered in a community. What do you mean by community diagnosis, and what are all the health committees involved in delivering it, and what is finally the community management. Okay. So this health is described by the WHO, which is stating that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Okay, so health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So any individual must enjoy the highest attainable standard of health is one of the fundamental rights of any human being without distinction of caste and creed, religion, political belief, economic and social conditions. So by these principles, health is ensured to give an equity and universality in distribution of all the individuals among all caste and socio-economic background with non-discrimination and non-exclusion. Okay, so these are some of the basic ethical principles we have to follow in delivering a healthcare to a community or an individual. So moving on, as we have discussed in the previous class, one must know about the different dimensions of health by which a person can be assessed. So just the gist of it, that is a physical dimension, mental and social dimension, spiritual, emotional and vocational dimension. So this was dealt in detail in the previous class. So you can go through it and revise it again. Okay. So these are some of the important dimensions which is focused at the primary healthcare setting. So any health of any individual is developed or described by these important circles. That is the individual life cycle factors, social and community networks, and finally the outer circle will be the general socio-economic, cultural and environmental conditions. So this is given by the Dahlgren and Whitehead model or the social determinants of health. Okay. So what are all the individual factors by which we can say a person is healthy? That is by his age and sex distribution and also his environment in which he lives. Okay, so individual lifestyle factors. Next is the social and community networks. That is the in education he having, the work environment, and the living conditions with respect to water, sanitation, and hygiene, and what is the agricultural or the environmental background, what is housing conditions, and what are all the healthcare services available in that particular locality. So this formulates the general socio-economic, cultural and environmental background. Okay. So just remember the name as the Dahlgren and Whitehead model or the social determinants of health. Okay. So any healthcare delivery which consists of in India is mainly by the three levels of healthcare. That is the primary level, secondary level, and the tertiary level. So you can remember it with the three-tier system with respect to this triangle. Okay, as the triangle has a broad base and has a pointed apex. So this broad base is provided by the primary healthcare level or the primary level which is provided by the Anganwadi centers, sub-centers and primary health centers. So this primary level of healthcare is very important as it is focusing on a wide variety of health conditions and disease classifications. Okay, so that is why it has a broad base. Then comes and the number of services available here is also more. That is why it is having a larger proportion in the triangle. Next is the secondary level care which is provided by the district hospitals, sub-district hospitals, community health centers and the taluk hospitals. And then is a tertiary care center which is provided by the medical colleges and the apex hospitals. We also call it by the other names as the center of excellence. So any hospital which is attached to a medical college comes under the tertiary care level. So as we climb up this pyramid, the services provided by under each care will decrease and also the cost will increase. Okay. So that is why we must always focus on the primary level care where the cost is less, services are more and the coverage will be more. So that is why this primary level care is being focused, is very much given importance, okay, in India. So this primary healthcare was a new revolutionary approach to the healthcare and it became an integral part of country's health system and health planning by means of this board committee, which is the Health Survey and Development Committee. So, and it was the key strategy for achieving the global health target or the universal health coverage by the year 2030. Okay, that is by the Sustainable Development Goals. So the health for all by the year 2000 AD was stated at the Alma Ata in the International Health Conference where they defined the primary healthcare as it must be an essential healthcare. Okay, it must be an essential healthcare which is made universally available to the individuals and even if it is available it must be acceptable to them by means of the cultural and social background through their full community participation. So the people's health in people's hand and at a cost, that is the affordability, that is community and country can afford. So these are some of the important principles in universal healthcare. So it is an essential healthcare which is made universally accessible to individuals, acceptable to them through their community participation and at a cost the community and country can afford. Okay. So moving on, any healthcare must have certain attributes. So as I said earlier, it must be an essential service. It must be universally accessible, acceptable culturally, adaptable practically, and affordable economically and applicable scientifically. So this is, you can remember by means of the hand diagram. Okay, it must be accessible universally, acceptable culturally, and adaptable practically, and affordable economically and applicably scientifically. So these are some of the attributes of any healthcare. And finally, it must be comprehensive, continuous, and must have a community participation. Okay, the people must be responsible for their own health. People's health in people's hands. Okay, so what are all the elements of primary health care? So you must be educated about the concerning or prevailing health problems in a particular locality. First and foremost is that you must have the knowledge about the health problems. Say for example, what is the water sanitation prevailing there? What are all the water-borne diseases that is endemic in that particular area? So all these things you must be aware of. The public must be aware of it. Next is identifying by means of the signs and symptoms, prevention by means of certain measures, and controlling them. Say, for example, in Pondicherry, the most common epidemic or the endemic we get every monsoons or pre-monsoon is the dengue or the dengue viral infection. So, how we can identify the dengue virus by means of certain signs and symptoms like fever, rash, and also the altered sensorium and hemorrhage. Okay, how we can prevent? We can prevent dengue by means of a very basic measure, that is source reduction, or we prevent the vector breeding sites and controlling them by means of adult and larvicidal measures. So these are some of the measures of identifying, preventing, and controlling the prevailing health problems. Next is promotion of food supply and proper nutrition. Okay, and adequate supply of water and sanitation and hygiene, safe water and basic sanitation. Next is maternal and child health. So this maternal and child health will decide the country's development. So if the maternal mortality rate is very high in a particular country, so it is very much in down in providing the health care to that particular area. So we can assess the MCH care of any country and also assess its development. Okay. Next, clubbing to the MCH care, we must also concentrate on the family planning practices. Okay. Next is the immunization. We have to follow all the immunization schedule that is given in the National Immunization Forum. Okay. So immunization against major infectious diseases. Next is prevention and control of the locally endemic diseases. And finally, appropriate treatment for all the common diseases with provision of essential drugs. So these are the basic elements of primary healthcare you must know. Next is the main principles of primary healthcare. It is preventive, promotive, curative, and finally the rehabilitative services which is being provided at the primary care level by means of, as I said, it must be equitably distributed, multi-sectoral approach, and an appropriate technology, and finally the community participation. So you can remember this diagram for the principles of primary healthcare. So as I said, the equity is democracy and decentralization, or non-exclusion or non-discrimination of any individual in providing healthcare. Next is community participation, which is people's health in people's hands. So they must have a good health seeking behavior and a behavioral change communication in order to access all the health services available in that particular locality. Next is for appropriate technology. The government has introduced certain measures or strategies like these immunization programs, nutritional supplementation with iron and folic acid, oral dehydration therapy in order to treat the diarrheal diseases in under 5, DOTS therapy for tuberculosis, disposable delivery kits for domiciliary midwifery services, that is for the trained birth attendants for the MCH care, and the biogas plants for cooking and family welfare approaches, that is the target free approach or the cafeteria approach. So these are some of the appropriate technologies in the primary healthcare. Next is intersectoral coordination. So the health cannot be provided only by the health sector. So it must work in liaison with the educational department, agricultural department, fisheries and animal husbandry. So because the vector-borne diseases and the zoonosis can also be transmitted to the humans. Okay, and the information and broadcasting, that is a technological advancement in order to store all the health management information systems. Next is the transport for providing the healthcare like mobile medical unit, all the emergency ambulance services, so etc. Next is the municipal bodies or the local urban bodies in order to provide good water sanitation and town planning to that particular area. Next, if at all the person is unable to afford to a healthcare, so certain voluntary agencies can also help the patients and the community in getting the healthcare. So this is what you mean by the intersectoral coordination. Okay, is it clear? Shall we move on? So moving on, what is the organizational framework of healthcare system? So as I said, it is the public health sector and the private. So in public, we have the primary healthcare centers, sub-centers and the Anganwadi centers at the primary level, and the hospitals like the CHCs and district hospitals at the secondary level, and teaching hospitals at the tertiary level. And other agencies at the public health sectors are the employees, state insurance, central government health schemes, railways, and the defense systems. Okay, defense hospitals. In the private, we have the general practitioners and the clinics and dispensaries and the private hospitals. Next is the indigenous systems of medicine, that is the Ayush, that is the Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, homeopathy, and yoga is being clubbed up with the allopathic medicines. Next is the voluntary health agencies, and finally the national health programs. Okay. So at the village or the grassroots level, that is the first level of contact for any individual to seek the help. That is given by the village health guide scheme, training of local DAIs and the ICDS, that is the Integrated Child Development Services scheme. So this village health guide scheme was discovered in the 1977 at the Family Welfare Program, wherein these villages or the local residents of that particular village are trained as community health workers, and they work in liaison with the medical officer of that particular PHC, and they get a remuneration of nearly about 600 per month. Okay. Next is the training of birth attendants in order to deliver any child at a home. That is the rural health scheme. It was launched in the scheme, that is the rural health scheme 1978, in order to ensure safe delivery and safe abortion. So they mainly focused on supplying midwifery kits and family planning services and ensuring the five cleans, that is the clean hands, clean surface, clean blade, and clean ligature, and clean cord for stump. Okay, in order to prevent the neonatal and maternal transmission of tetanus. Next is the Anganwadi worker who gives the supplementary nutrition, growth monitoring is done, and also they give the health education to the mothers and lactating mothers regarding the breastfeeding techniques and the health and nutrition of the baby. The non-formal school education is given, and also the referral services. So for all these, they maintain some records at the ICDS blocks, which is being supervised by the Mukhya Sevika, and finally it is submitted to the block project officer or the CDPO, Community Development Project Officer. Okay, this is the primary care or the first level contact Next is the sub-center, which is an infrastructure for the primary health center, which caters nearly 4 to 6 sub-centers for under each PHC. So it caters a population of 5,000 in the plains and 3,000 in the hilly and tribal areas. So it is mainly manned by the health workers, one female and one male. Okay, just for doing the field visits and field surveys. Then comes the primary health center, which is providing the comprehensive preventive, promotive, and curative services. So for the population of 30,000 in plain areas and 20,000 in the hilly and tribal areas. So they come under about 30 villages comes under the care for a single PHC. So each PHC or a subcenter and CHCs will have certain Indian public health standards. Why? Because in order to provide an optimal level of quality healthcare services, which is sensitive to the needs of the rural areas. Okay, this standards was established under the National Rural Health Mission under the Bureau of Indian Standards. Okay, finally it came as the Indian Public Health Standards. So the main objectives was that to provide comprehensive care, that is preventive, promotive and curative services, and also to achieve and maintain an acceptable standards of quality of care and to make the services more responsive and sensitive to the needs of the community. Okay, these are the objectives of IPHS. So the minimum requirements at a PHC will be at the following services like the medical care, 6 hours OPD services, 24 hours of emergency services, referral and input service. Next, as I told earlier or said earlier, that is the MCH and FP services, family planning, immunization and health education and promotion, school health and adolescent health, and all the national programs and training programs are carried out at the PHC level. So the main manpower will be an existing medical officer, pharmacist, and health workers and health educators, which are being assisted by health assistants and a lab technician. And for transport, we have a driver. So totally at least 50 manpower should be there at a primary healthcare level. So who are all these health assistants? Female. So they supervise the work of the health workers on rotational basis or for the MCH services, health education and MTP cases identification. So they also conduct camps and campaigns and referrals to the primary health center. So this is the work of the health assistant female. Same way the health assistant male will also have the same work. In addition, he will have the case identification for the leprosy, TB and malaria, and also he can do the outbreak investigation. Okay, so they work in liaison with the primary healthcare or the PHC medical officer. Next is a community health center, that is a secondary level care which is provided at the community health center with a 30 bedded hospital and a population of about 1 lakh and distribution of 100 villages. So in addition to PHC, what all they will have is the specialities in surgery, medicine, OBG and pediatrics, and also the laboratory network. And this CHC is called the first referral unit. Okay. So the main equipments will be the standard surgical kits and the IUD insertion kit and equipments for all these emergency cares like anesthesia, neonatal resuscitation, blood transfusion, and an OT will be there, and a labor rod, and finally the facilities for blood transfusion and blood bank. Okay, so these are in additions or add-ons to the CHCs. So the main manpower will be, in addition to the medical officer, they will have a general surgeon, physician, OBG, pediatrics, an anesthetist, and also an ophthalmologist and a dental surgeon, and also the specialty in Ayush care. So these are some of the add-ons in which respect to the PHC. Okay. So finally, we have to do a community diagnosis with these help of healthcare. So identify the health problems and causative factors for this and provide a holistic approach with community participation, that is an intersectoral coordination with the help of the health system building blocks like the manpower, materials, money, and minutes. So the manpower with terms of medical officers, supervisors, health assistants, and the village health nurses, etc. The money or budgeting for providing the health services and the infrastructure, that is the PHC and the CHC, and finally the time is being allocated for each of the healthcare delivery system. So that is a community diagnosis with the help of the health system building blocks. So this health planning and management will be dealt in a separate topic. So we will just supervise or we will just go through the steps in community diagnosis. So if there is a health situation or illness situation in that particular community, we have to gather the health information and we have to measure the health information with means of the morbidity and mortality indicators. Next, we plan and organize a healthcare delivery. And finally, we have to assess whether this new healthcare delivery or action plan has satisfied to the needs of the community. So we have to monitor the community health and integrate it with the existing health system with the community involvement. That is the steps in community diagnosis. So this community diagnosis, the main research methodologies which are involved in community diagnosis is FGDs or social mapping. Okay. So just you know the names of the research methodology in community diagnosis. That is a focused group discussion, and this is a focused group discussion in which the persons are allocated and they discuss about the local endemic diseases of that particular community, and they also will map the area. So at the national level, this healthcare delivery system is being provided by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, DGCHS, that is the Director General of Health Services and Central Council of Health. So this is a flow chart of the organizational structure of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So they have certain important functions like regulations of international health, research and development, drug standards and regulation, and health management information systems and maintenance of all the national health programs. Okay. So at the national level, so he is the health minister of the India, that is Dr. Harshavardhan. Okay. So at the district level, we are in the Puducherry district. So at the district level, we have the district level of delivery of healthcare system, which is provided by the district collector and the urban local bodies. We have two municipalities in the Pondicherry district and 4 wards. Okay. Next, at the village level, which is the Panchayati Raj institutions, that is the village, it is called the Gram Panchayats, Panchayat Samiti, and the Zilla Parishad, which is works in license with the district level to that of the village level. So there is a bridging between the district and the village level healthcare delivery. So what are all the health committees so far framed in India is a board committee, as I said earlier. And these are some of the other committees for health planning in India. That is a Mudaliar Chada Committee, Mukherjee and Janganwala Committee, Kartar Singh Committee, Sri Vatsaf Committee, and Rural Health Scheme. So this will be dealt in a separate class. Okay. So some of the health insurances also you can be acquainted with this. That is a New India Insurance, New York Max, so Star Health. So these are some of the private insurance firms in India. So that our present Prime Minister has made this Ayushman Bharat, or the Prime Minister Jan Aushadhi Yojana, wherein all the health insurances of our country are coming under one umbrella, that is the Ayushman Bharat, which is blessing India for a healthy tomorrow in order to prevent the out of pocket expenditure that is being spent to the health in India. Okay, that is PMJ scheme. So as I said earlier, this community health is being provided by this WHO health system framework or the health system building blocks. So what is the service delivery, health workforce involved, information systems, medical products and vaccines and technologies, what is healthcare financing we involve, and finally the leadership and governance. So in with these system building blocks, we get a accessibility and coverage to healthcare, good quality and safety, and final outcomes will be the improved health and responsiveness to the health, that is health seeking behavior, social and financial risk reduction by means of health insurances, and improved efficiency in delivering the healthcare their systems. Okay, so this is the community health management. So as I said earlier, national health programs also satisfy to the primary healthcare approach. So these are some of the national health programs which will be separately taught in each class. Okay, like vector-borne diseases, nutritional disorders, cancers, and non-NCDs, that is non-communicable diseases. So these are some of the examples for national health programs. So why we need to focus on this health? That is by in order to develop this sustainable development, which is being formulated, and the target is at the year 2030. Okay. So these are the targets for SDG 3. So thus we come to the end of this class, and the references are PARTS textbook, IAPSM textbook, Community Medicine in Suryakanta, and also some of the WHO and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare Services. So in this class, you must understand what is health, what are the elements of primary healthcare, what are the principles of primary healthcare, and how we deliver this primary healthcare approach or the primary healthcare level at the three-tier mechanism in our country, healthcare delivery system in our country, and finally you must know by means of this primary healthcare how we can arrive at the community diagnosis. So this is in short about the healthcare of a community with the primary health.